Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing Easy Daybot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, Easy Daybot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an Easy Day download now at easydaybot.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Makoni.
We now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MakoniSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome to the Tier 1 Racing League, where precision, competition, and innovation come together to create the ultimate iRacing experience. Every race, every battle, and every moment in T1TS, T1L, T1X, and special events is brought to you by Tier 1 Studios, the premier destination for professional high-quality broadcasts. Tune in and experience racing like never before. Explore everything we have to offer at Tier1RacingLeague.com. From race schedules and standings to event galleries and league signups, it's all there at your fingertips. Join the competition, watch the action, be part of the legacy. Tier 1 Racing League, where champions are made.
Hello everybody and welcome to the second race of the round 8 here in the Tier 1 Truck Series playoffs presented to you by Makoni Setup Shop. The Tier 1 Truck Series, aka TITS, is in the middle of a very exciting championship battle. We have a handful of drivers, more than a handful, on hand here tonight from Phoenix Raceway, this 1-mile racetrack, a fan favorite to most of these guys here, and well, some are going to be trying to win their way into playoffs, others looking for a little bit of consistency, maybe try and point their way in if they can. Take a quick look at the schedule and see how did we get here. It's the second race of the round of 8. Last week was a very eventful race from Kansas there. Jared Hayes, a non-playoff driver, getting a win with a little bit of tire strategy, but looking at this beautiful setup we got here, Justin Madigan has been the man to beat. And looking at the points, if we can, that story is the same story coming into the night. Madigan with a 36-point advantage over the cut line. So all he has to do is pretty much just run this race, run the next race, hope for no surprise winners, and hope no one else has the best couple runs of their life. And he should be able to cruise onto a championship 4 bid. That coming in a couple weeks at Homestead. 100 laps there, that race, April 21st. So North Wilkesboro next week. So it's a bit of a short track. So 2 tracks about a mile and under coming up back to back here. Very eventful, very exciting, very treacherous though if you're a driver that doesn't like short tracks. So your playoff run can definitely kind of go out the window here. Dakota Ramsdale +4 to cut line, Greg Wood, and then Jeff Nairn. They're all sitting on or above the cut line. Zachary Woods, Kevin Coleman, both looking for a win here tonight after an early DNF. Qualifying underway here. Actually, all driver teams have taken a time, so we can't really follow. Actually, Caleb Collins is on track. We'll follow along Caleb Collins if we can. A little late to the session. This track is a little tricky. We got the open dog leg here. So we're going to come to what is turn 3 here, going down the back straightaway. And then you have this big long dog leg there below that low line around the final set of corners, and there's that dog leg right there. Ski drivers taking advantage of that tonight, all on restarts primarily. Kim Collins with a quick time of 26.971, currently good enough for 4th. Speeds into the pits even. So great run there from the driver in the 72 machine. The driver in the 76, Justin Madigan, not yet in the session. Mentioned all we need to do is kind of show up and run this race next week at North Wilkesboro and should be a lock for the championship 4. Not yet in with 13 seconds left in qualifying. He'll have a 5-minute warm-up session coming up there to get into the actual race session. Madigan racing against the time. The rest of the field, though, racing against the track. Speaking of, let's take a look at tonight's race analysis. Break it down for you. There is your lovely race analysis brought to you by, of course, McConaughey Setup Shop. 81 degrees Fahrenheit out here. A little dark, a little partly cloudy. And then track temperature as well, also 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 1.01 miles in length, altitude 968 feet. Let me tell you, Phoenix here, or Avondale, where the track actually is, very, very flat. Raced here myself actually a couple weeks ago, didn't go so great. We still finished in one piece, so we'll take it. We'll go ahead, take a quick moment, and thank those that make it happen. All of our lovely, lovely sponsors that help us out. Starting with McConaughey Setup Shop, www.McConaugheySetupShop.com. Known for setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcast, event promotion, and more on the iRacing service. Subscriptions available for as low as $8 per month in the official setup shop of eNASCAR. EasyDayBot. Stream smarter, chat better, and grow the community with EasyDayBot. This innovative Twitch and Discord bot takes interaction to the next level, keeping your audience engaged and connected. Don't just stream, build a community with the EasyDayBot. You can see the bot in action right now over on the Twitch stream. Don't listen to us talk about it when you can try it out right now. Admin Box is built by iRacers for iRacers and use in league and hosted races. My apologies. The goal, make race control as easy as possible, only if it made speaking as easy as possible. Each admin box connects via USB and features pre-programmed combines that means no key binding necessary for an easy race control. The admin box community is made up of over 150 leagues and has many members that all have a common mission to run nice, clean races and help each other out. Wrap Surgeon. Need a fresh look for your ride or your brand? Well, Wrap Surgeon has you covered. From stunning car paints to eye-catching logos, we'll make your vision come to life. Wrap Surgeon, where creativity meets precision. Cash Custom 3D Printing. Need some custom 3D printing? Check out Cash Customs 3D Printing. From trophies to unique designs, you'll bring your ideas to life with precision and creativity. Support a small business and see their amazing work over on Facebook today. Cash Customs 3D Printing. And we're wondering just how crazy you can get over at Cash Customs. They 3D printed me a mirror that I used in my ARC car at Daytona. Back during Speed Week, I'll be using that same mirror at Talladega. Tier 1 Studio. Racing fans, are you ready for the ultimate iRacing experience? Look no further than Tier 1 Studio. Covering all the action from Tier 1 Racing League, we bring you every race, every series, and every intense battle on track, whether it's the Xfinity Series, the ARCA Series, which kicks off tomorrow night, by the way, the Truck Series, or special events. If it's happening in Tier 1 Racing, you'll find it live here on Tier 1 Studio. Don't miss a second of the action. Tune in, subscribe, and share. Of note, mention the ARCA Series kicking off tomorrow night. That is going to be a Tuesday series. Runs every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. Broadcast at 8:45. If there is a broadcast, I know there is not. But there is a broadcast. But that season kicks off tomorrow from USA Lakeland to go to Las Vegas, Michigan, Kansas, Watkins Glen, North Wilkesboro, Nashville, Daytona, Bristol, and Texas. So the TH Designs ARCA Series kicks off our 10-race schedule with an all-star race, I believe, at a dirt track. At Dirt Bristol of all places. So that's going to be a fun caution-filled race, I'm sure. I love the new ARCA car here in iRacing. I got to try it out multiple times. I actually got to play with it last night on dirt. So Dirt Lake then. So it is a fun car, and love that the iRacing took a time and massaged it, made it nice and fancy and fast. So everyone else seems to love it. Qualifying though wrapped up. Warm-up low is underway. Of note, Justin Madigan did connect to the session, finally in here, and is on track, getting some laps in that 76. He scrapes the wall there. A driver from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, mentioned absolute dominance all season long. It really has been. Who's able to beat him, because most of these guys aren't. I mean, looking at the standings, in 10 starts, Madigan has 5 wins, 6 top 5s, and 8 top 10s, 7 stage wins in those 10 starts. So, pretty much almost finds a way to victory lane or a stage in every single start this season. 2 races he hasn't gotten a top 10 in are the first 2, ironically, Daytona, which, Daytona does Daytona things, and Richmond, which is a very wacky field race. So a couple seconds left here in warm-up. Drivers getting their final adjustments. Not much you can adjust here. It's a big set you can do their steering offset, their steering ratio, and their brake bias. Brake bias, though, is key here tonight. Basically, it handles the balance of the braking going into the corner. So when they're on the brakes going in the corner, you have the brake bias a little more towards the front. You'll save your rear tires a little bit. You'll brake a little bit quicker. But like I mentioned, might burn up the right front a little bit more. So brake bias will be something they're able to adjust. So stages tonight are 30 and 60. And let's take a look at your starting lineup here. Cotterman still on the pole, was quickest in practice and quickest in qualifying with a time of 26.733. I lied, Ramsdale was not quickest in practice. It was Greg Wood who was quicker than Ramsdale by 1/1000th of a second in practice, and he's going to be 1/10 slower than Ramsdale. That's Greg Wood rolling off second here tonight. Paul Owens, the driver from third, also has some affiliation with the real-life ARCA operation of Brett Jones Racing. Rolling off third here tonight. Caleb Collins saw his qualifying lap live. He's running off fourth. Eddie Baker, driver looking for a good run here tonight. Mentioned he's below that cutoff line. Needs a good run or maybe even a win. But Jeff Nairn, who enters the playoffs tonight on that cutoff line. So he'll have to beat the man starting in front of him. Jeff Nairn starting 6th. Zachary Woods, driver looking for a win here tonight, rolling off 7th. Bill Sheep, a great qualifying effort for the driver of the 65, rolling off 8th. Christopher Cash in that Cash Customs machine rolling off 9th, and Kevin Coleman rounding out your top 10. Also another driver looking for a win, Jared Magoon. 11th, Jared Hayes. 12th, Matt Erickson, your last driver to take a time tonight, in 13th, and Joseph Madigan. No time set for him for the first time, not in a super speedway, I believe, this season. The 14 trucks ready to send it, and send it we are. Dakota Ramsdale leads the field through turn 3 here at Phoenix, waiting for the green flag to fly, waiting for it to drop, and there it is. Green flag is out from Phoenix. Dakota Ramsdale is underway. Quickly goes below that yellow line, trying to cut the track as much as he can. 2 or 3 wide behind him. He's going to cut the Raptors and Greg Wood off. That's going to open the door, though, for Paul Owens in that 30th slide right on by. Says, thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. He's bringing Eddie Baker with him, of all people, from 5th to 3rd on that start. What a jump from the 84. Greg Wood trying to slide inside, but Dakota Ramsdale, who will lead the first lap off of turn 3. Paul Jones falls back to looks like side-by-side for second. He'll come out ahead, though, through the dog leg. Through 1 and 2. This 1 and 2 is a wide corner. You got to be precise. You got to get on the gas early. One driver got on the gas a little too hard. The yellow flag is out for the first time tonight. We'll find out who got on the gas a little too hard there. Going back, looking like it might be Bill Sleep in the 65, going through the dog leg here. Got Jared Hayes last week right in front of him. Yeah, I just mentioned that brake bias can bite you or it can help you. Look like it bit Bill Sleep there pretty good. Just came up from underneath him while braking. So if I'm him, I'd move that brake bias a little bit up a bit, or maybe just a little bit of cold tires. But the damage on that 65 truck doesn't look too bad. first caution flag out already tonight. Bill Sleep coming down pit road here, trying to take advantage of this caution flag and get some of that damage fixed. Of note, drivers do have 3 sets of tires, so 1 set at each stage break, and then a spare set for that final stage at some point. We saw that final set come into play hugely last week. Jared Hayes kind of able to save that set until he needed it the most and able to find victory lane for the first time this season. First top 5 was his first win. So what an upset story indeed from the driver of the 46, but it's Dakota Ramsdell, though, your leader, looking to try and maybe get a win, lock himself in going into North Wilkesboro. So, 2's being called out. Everyone acknowledges it after last week. There may or may not have been an incident where someone didn't think they heard the 2's. Well, this can make or break a race. I think the inside here definitely has a little bit of an advantage. Able to restart on the inside. It can cut the dog leg right away almost, and it definitely helps you big time on restarts. I learned that both in real life and arcade racing and while practicing here on iRacing. So a couple drivers I think are going to learn that the hard way. As Greg Wood goes from 3rd to 2nd, he's going to bring Caleb Collins go from 5th to 4th. Jeff Nairn right where he belongs there in 6th, so doesn't gain any spots from the 2's. Pace car pulls off. This is a long, slow 55-mile-an-hour roll into the restart zone. So front 2 side by side. Everyone else, well, not so much. They're trying to figure it out. Now they kind of tighten it up a little bit. But see the front 2 already leaning on each other a little bit. About a quarter of an inch between the 2 of them through the Geico restart zone goes Dakota Ramsdell. His foot is on the loud pedal. He's back underway. Waits to cross the start finish line there to go below the yellow line. Cuts the dog leg. Comes out in front of Greg Wood, who drops down in the 2nd. He'll bring Paul Owens there running that high line. Try on the diamond line. Get the drive off the corner. Side by side for 2nd. Paul Owens at the 72. Collins hits the wall pretty good there. He keeps it going straight, but it's Owens looking on the inside of Greg Wood for 2nd. Eddie Baker trying to follow him through. Eddie Baker trying to find a hole. He'll cut to the inside. As they make contact, it's outside. Eddie Baker makes it through. Greg Wood does not. Slides back up the track. Caution flag back out for the 2nd time tonight. The man throwing the caution is the man spinning. That was a very quick caution there for the driver of the 67 here. So we saw this kind of start to play going through the restart zone. Eddie Baker undercuts Paul Jones, and that doesn't really even have anything to do with it. Look like Greg just kind of came down the track. He expected Paul to be running the yellow line. Luckily, Eddie Baker did not get sent into the field there, able to keep it going straight. But Paul Jones also with a great save there, and it's Greg Wood making contact with the 30 that sends him around. Great job by the entire field, though, to not make that worse than it had to be. If I had to guess, though, it just kind of looks like that Greg thought the 30 was going to run the yellow line as Paul Jones. I've been calling Paul Jones all night. I think I have. Paul Owens comes down pit lane. I got the Rhett Jones, I guess, and Paul Owens there, kind of. John Paul Jones? Yeah. The 30 of Paul. Let's go with that. Always have one slip up at some point during the race. And well, we got out of the way early here tonight. Can we get a look at the 00 truck real quick? I'm hearing some crab references being made. I'm not really... He's got crab on the hood. He's got some Old Bay on the side. And he's got... A very unique paint scheme tonight. The 00 Kevin Coleman decided to change it up a little bit, I guess, after last week's rough run. Everyone's making crab jokes. I didn't know why. That explains it. So Choose being called out. It's still Dakota Ramsdell, your leader. Ironically enough, Paul Owens went down pit lane, actually led the last lap because of how short pit lane is here. So choosing here, we'll see who goes where, who makes up some ground, who doesn't. All 14 trucks still on the lead lap here. It's going to be none other than the 83 Dakota Ramsdell and the 72 of Caleb Collins on your front row. Collins with that free 72-ounce steak, ironic because he's in the 72. The big Texan on the hood of that machine. For those that don't know, there's a steakhouse in Texas in Amarillo, Texas, a place up north. They have a free 72-ounce steak if you can eat it all within a certain time limit. A couple of us tried it when we went out there for the Phoenix race. A couple of us did not succeed. But Caleb Collins trying to succeed though from the front row here tonight. And it's 83 Dakota Ramsdell underway here. Look at that healthy restart though. 2 of the 86 has a truck length advantage over Eddie Baker in second. So carry momentum through 1 and 2. Carry that same momentum out of turn 2 as they're going to get single file. 5 back and 1 driver hard in the wall. I believe it's Christopher Cass and Jared Magoon making a bit of contact there. Still single file up front. Eddie Baker trying to find some speed here. Behind them though, a couple drivers trying to sort it out. Kevin Coleman up to 4th. But Paul Owens trying to work his way back up through the field. Already up to 9th after restarting in the back there. That pass in that 69 machine behind him. Jared Hayes and Jared Magoon. 3 wide through the dog leg for a split second. Almost didn't work out. Zachary Wood there in the 6 as well, trying to get around Coleman. So there are 2, 3 bottom driver, 4. There are 4 drivers outside the playoff bubble right now, currently running 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So they're Jeff Nairn, they're Greg Wood, they're Dakota Ramsdell, they're kind of sweating a little bit. Ramsdell trying to hang on to the lead, currently doing a great job at it, has a 1/10 advantage over Eddie Baker. Eddie Baker, though, breathing down the neck of the 83, finally gets a bit of a green flag run and seems to be able to do anything with it. This is going to be when stage points really come into play here. So side by side for 3rd. It's Coleman on the bottom, Collins up top. And look at who's back up front for the first time tonight. Joseph Madigan enters the frame. And he's going to cut stage left underneath Kevin Coleman. Coleman having to pull his belt. It's a little bit tight there. 3 wide in the turn number 1 and 2 here. Madigan trying to whip it around the high side now. He'll bring Collins in tow, and he's bringing Zachary Woods around Kevin Coleman. So Madigan, no crabs for him tonight. It gets right on by Coleman and company. He was just pulling away. Back up front, though, Eddie Baker still breathing all over the back bumper of Dakota Ramsdell. Not sure if he's content with his riding second here tonight. It'd be a big points day for Eddie Baker. Jeff Nairn currently running 7th, so Eddie Baker would kind of come out ahead. Looks to the inside, right by the quarter panel. He's going to be even going through turn 1 and 2 here. Eddie Baker in the 84 on the inside. He'll try and swing the pendulum his way now. Side by side down the back stretch into turn 3. He'll fall back a little bit. Doesn't get back in line though. He'll still peek his nose. He won't quite get clear. It's going to be Dakota Ramsdell who will try and get himself clear. Now side by side again through the dog leg. Eddie Baker with a great run there through the dog leg. Able to stay in tow, though. Not quite able to get the run and get the move or get the position. And all this side-by-side battle in the last couple laps to open the door for Joseph Madigan to start gaining. Eddie Baker still trying to find a way around him. He might have to let Madigan on by here and just follow him through. Literally on the back bumper, basically bump drafting through the corners here. Trying to find a way around Ramsdale, kind of moving up the track a little bit. Ramsdale will go down low to block, force him to the outside. Crossover move from the 84. Madigan now within a couple of tenths as they're side by side through the dog leg. Eddie Baker, he'll have a little bit of advantage through the corners here. See if he's able to do anything with it. Ramsdale will wash up the track. He'll try and run the diamond line, cut it back down low. He won't get there. It'll be Eddie Baker taking the lead into turn 3. Ramsdale with the undercut, literally. He'll look to the inside. He won't get the momentum, though, that he's looking for. It'll be Eddie Baker getting the lap led off of turn number 3 there. Through the dog leg, it's still Eddie Baker, but for second, it's shaken up a little bit. Madigan now entering the picture after restarting back just inside the top 10. We started this race actually in 14th, not set a time tonight. Only got a couple laps in the warm-up. Well, he is warmed up, that is for sure. With less than 10 laps to go in stage number 1, it's Madigan trying to hot down Eddie Baker, trying to get his 8th stage win this season. Baker, though, up front, a driver with only 1 stage win this season. It'd be a huge momentum boost for Baker to get this stage win here in the playoffs, get some points his way, and hopefully, and should be above that cut line going into stage 2. Currently looking back, it's about 3.5, 4 tenths to Madigan and 8 tenths to Ramsdale. So Madigan, his run's kind of stalled out, down to 5 tenths. Eddie Baker actually gaining a little bit on him. That time by, actually, Madigan a little bit quicker. So it just depends on what corner. Madigan seems to have 1 and 2 down pat. Eddie Baker really excels, though, in turn 3 in that dog leg. So like I said, it really just depends on what corner they're looking at. That time, though, it's Eddie Baker with the advantage. Not by much, but it is an advantage. And we got 6 laps to go in the stage. You're going to take any advantage you can get. The gap, about 5 tenths of a second. Madigan running a little bit lower line on the track here, riding on that front bumper nose cam, gets right up by the wall, cuts it down low. Trying to use every inch of real estate that he can get here in the Avondale Desert. Last time by, it's literally almost dead nuts. Even it is dead nuts even. I've got both the drivers pushing their max here. Well, Madigan's max might not be good enough to get the stage win. The actually quickest driver that last time by is Dakota Ramsdale in 3rd. Now Ramsdale's looking for 2nd. Trying to pick his nose inside of Madigan. He wants that 1 point back. That 1 point might be what sends him home. Going in the homestead. Trying to fight his way to 2nd. All this fighting is going to allow Eddie Baker to pull away. A couple drivers hitting the wall in the background there. It's still Madigan hanging on to 2nd. Oh, Rams doing that big tech, trying to find some big momentum here, trying to get 2nd in stage number 1. He's got 8 tenths low to get back up to Eddie Baker. Stage 1 is out of the picture unless there's a mistake from Baker. But Madigan, though, separating Ramsdale from that dream of his of getting 2nd in the stage. I'm just kidding. I'm sure he doesn't want to finish 2nd. He wants to finish 1st. But he'll settle for 2nd. Ramsdale in line still with Baker. Caleb Collins in 4th. Kevin Coleman in 5th, trying to fight off and hold off a huge pack of hungry hippos. And those hippos' names are Zachary Woods, Jeff Nairn, and Paul Owens. So every point matters, especially when you're Kevin Coleman, who's minus 19 coming into the night. Dakota Ramsdell came in tonight +4 on the cut line. That cut line will move a little bit as Eddie Baker came in about 9 points behind Ramsdell. That gap will be cut down to 7 points. Greg Wood will move below the cut line, who currently runs in a 14th. Jeff Nairn, I believe, should still be on the cut line. So Greg Wood might be playing that long tire strategy here. Lap 30, final lap to go in stage number 1. Still Eddie Baker up front. Madigan, though, trying to hang on for a second. He'll run a higher line through 1 and 2. And that's going to open the door, though, for Ramsdell. Down the back straightaway, side by side, but not for long. It's Ramsdell who falls back to 3rd, as he's been this entire run. It'll be Eddie Baker getting his 2nd stage win this season in a time when he needs it most. Side by side across the line for 2nd. It'll be Madigan getting that spot. For 3rd, going to Ramsdell, Collins in 4th, and Kevin Coleman in 5th. So Eddie Baker, 2nd stage win, a great momentum swing there. And now it's money stop time for stage number 2. Show how hard it is to pass. The last thing you want to do is have to pass Madigan under green flag conditions. That'll be Eddie Baker leading the field here. Expect maybe some surprise pit stops, or lack thereof, if anyone stays out. No, everyone's going to pit here. See if Greg Wood is playing that tire strategy game. Right, to come in for some fuel. So Madigan with that very first pit stall, coming down pit lane. We'll have no one behind him. Ramsdell with the very last pit stall there. So he comes out on top. Here is Greg Wood just not coming around to find his stall. Alright, the build gets underway. So that looks like no tires there for Mr. Greg Wood or Jared Magoon. Magoon might have taken rights, I'm not sure, but maybe he's trying to save us that. We will see. Eddie Baker, though, back out front. Madigan in 2nd. Ramsdell in 3rd. Kevin Coleman does jump past Caleb Collins. And it'll be Collins in 5th. First twos of stage number 2 here. Look at Christopher Cash, number 69. Nice machine. So Eddie Baker, close to Madigan. Madigan restarting in the front row for the first time tonight. He is lethal on restarts. Driver got to be cautious for whether it's on the inside or the outside. It's going to be the toughest fight that Eddie Baker had all race long. See, Madigan had to work his way through traffic last time. The only traffic he's got to work around right now is Eddie Baker, your leader. Baker slow rolls through the restart zone, puts his foot on the gas pedal, and he is going. He is rolling like a choo-choo train. He's chugging along. And it's going to be Madigan, though, who's getting fought for that position from Dakota Ramsdell. So the fight continues just where it left off at the end of stage 1. It will be Ramsdell looking to the inside. Madigan, a huge hit to the outside wall. Keeps it going straight, though. Nothing some Bondo can't fix, and Madigan at 76 doesn't already look too bad. He'll get a bit of a run, have to stall it out low. He literally had to run over Eddie Baker, it looked like. He'll carry to the outside of the dog leg. He'll be able to carry the momentum low into turn 1 and 2. Ramsdell will look to the inside. He'll force Eddie Baker off the white yellow line there. It'll be Madigan out of all that taking the race lead. So for the first time tonight, took him 36 laps. New leader, it's their all-time lap leader this season, all-time race winner, all-time stage winner. Joseph Madigan looking for the win here in stage number 2, and everyone else at this point is fighting for second. One of those drivers, though, is Kevin Coleman in that 00, which everyone to know he doesn't have crabs. He only has crabs on his truck. But what he doesn't have, though, for sure, is a win. He's trying to get that, though, here, currently running third. Under pressure, though, from Dakota Ramsdell. Ramsdell will try and fight to the inside. It'll be Caleb Collins sliding around the outside, putting the right rear on the wall, ripping it around like a dirt late model. He'll fall back to 5th, and it'll be Ramsdell who comes ahead with 3rd. A bit of a bobble, though. That'll open the door for Kevin Coleman to get back side by side. Collins about sends it 3 wide. Thought better of it. Probably for the best. All these drivers are trying to sort it out, trying to work it out. It's Eddie Baker, though, trying to run down, maybe find a little bit of speed. Trying to run down Joseph Madigan. That's like trying to run down a horse on feet. And you have blisters on your feet. It's not fun or easy to do. We'll see though if he has anything in the tank. As a bit of contact there for 3rd. Coleman desperately wants these stage points over Dakota Ramsdell. See how far he's willing to fight for it. And Eddie Baker, well, those blisters don't matter because he's ran down Madigan. He's looking to the inside. He won't quite get the run out of the corner. Madigan will use the high side advantage there. Same with Kevin Coleman. So everyone here is pretty much elbows out, boxing gloves on, and you don't care to get called to the hauler after the race. You're fighting for a shot at a championship here. Eddie Baker now looks to the high side, trying to carry some momentum into the dog leg, expect to cut down low. There it goes. He'll exit probably side by side or just behind that. He's going to go just behind. I'm going to tell you, that line that Eddie Baker's running, it literally takes momentum from one corner to carry it right back to the next. It's Dakota Ramsdell trying to get some momentum back, swinging his way, though. Looking to the inside of Kevin Coleman. Coleman, not a driver we've already talked about a whole lot this season as far as running inside the top 5 or even on the podium. Proving everybody wrong here tonight, though. Only 4 top 10s and 2 top 5s for the driver of the 00. Eddie Baker still in second, still trying to run down Madigan. He's kind of got something figured out. He's got the speed to catch him. He's got the speed to stay with him, but not the speed to pass him. So coming there to finish lap 43 out of 120. So less than 80 laps to go. Ramsdell looking now inside of Kevin Coleman. He'll slide up. Coleman will cut down low. And it's side by side for the lead low. Eddie Baker runs the bottom. Madigan was carried the high side advantage as he has all race. And he's clearing by the dog leg. So Eddie Baker has got the speed to get side by side. It's not the speed to do anything with it. So pretty much Madigan kind of playing the long game here, hoping for a mistake from Madigan. Madigan not a man to make very many mistakes though. He's already led 442 laps this season. Don't do that by making mistakes very often. Eddie Baker, the driver, in second. Not 104. He has 104 stage points, but he's only got 74 laps led coming into the night. That's the second most, though, of any of the playoff drivers. So almost 300 plus laps Madigan has over Eddie Baker, the Franklin driver. Maybe run a line that builds a bit more momentum. Maybe set him up for a pass through the dog leg if they can. At this point, it's about trying what's working. If it doesn't work, try something else, and pretty much keep eliminating stuff off the list until they're able to get a stage win, get the lead. Couple drivers go back here, all trying to sort it out. Kevin Coleman, that double zero, he may or may not have crab. Runs 4th, Caleb Collins in 5th, Zachary Woods 6th, Christopher Cash 7th, Paul Owens in 8th, Paul Owens, not Paul Jones, Paul Owens. The 5 drivers are all in one pack. Last week's winner, Jared Hayes, kind of back there having a fun little race by himself. And behind him, Greg Wood, Bill Sheep, Matthew Erickson, Jared Magoon, and Jeff Nairn, all back here trying to sort it out. Coming to start lap number 50. It's Eddie Baker, though. Trying to run a little bit of a different line through 1 and 2. Maybe put some momentum down and back straight away and get that momentum into the dog leg. But Madigan, picture perfect this stage pretty much. Got the lead early on from Eddie Baker, and these two have pulled away to now a 1.5 advantage. Second half advantage over 3rd place Dakota Ramsdale. 3 seconds almost over Caleb Collins and Kevin Coleman. See the pack back there. Literally side by side, Jared Hayes hitting the wall in the background. Ignore that. I'm sure that's what he wants you to think. We'll call him out for it. And Kevin Coleman, though, what a great run from that driver in the double zero. Caleb Collins got around him a couple laps ago for 4th. So we're top 5, all kind of spread out. This is one of the closest battles on track for the lead. As Dakota Ramsdale, huge hit to the outside wall, sends him flying down the track. The gap last time to Collins was 1.3 seconds as they cross the line this time. Well, he's going to lose 3/10 to your lead battle, and he'll lose a 10th. And Caleb Collins as well behind him. So less than 7 laps to go now in stage number 2. Eddie Baker trying to go back to back and have to get around Joseph Madigan low to do it. I mean, pretty much at this point, all you can hope for is a mistake from Madigan, was like trying to win the lottery. Even worse, Jeff Nairn currently running 14th into the night on the playoff cut line bubble. He fell below that bubble when Eddie Baker won stage 1. And well, now, him currently running 14th will not help him one bit, as Madigan is leading the stage, but it's Eddie Baker who's still running 2nd. Baker falling back a little bit now. The top 4 all a little strung out. Baker not really close enough to make a move. He's got to kind of follow Madigan's tire tracks, and once again hoping for a mistake, praying for a miracle. A little bit quicker last time. Is it going to be enough? As they go through turn 3 here. He's going to close up a little bit. Yeah, 0.03 of a second last time by. It might be enough to put yourself in an opportunity to make a move. Coming to 3 to go in stage number 2 here. Eddie Baker might have saved his best for last, and what's really going to make a difference, though, is that set of tires in the final stage. When do you take them, when do you not? Tires are a huge deal here, especially in these 30,000-pound plus trucks. 3 to go in stage number 2, riding on board the 84 of Eddie Baker. Trying to be picture perfect tonight. Do something that not many drivers have, and that's win both stages in a race. Gotta get around that 176 truck in front of him. One truck. The truck. The one to beat. The one that everyone wants to beat. That's Joseph Madigan. 2 to go in stage number 2. Madigan with the advantage that time across the line by a hearty 7 or so tenths. Eddie Baker at this point trying to find some speed. A bit of a bobble from Madigan coming to the white flag in stage number 2. It will also be cross flags halfway in the race when he finishes this lap that he's starting right here. It's 1 to go in stage number 2. Madigan with a 5/10 lead over Eddie Baker now. Baker at this point has to set up for second. Madigan can almost cruise to this stage when it'll be his 8th stage when if he gets it done. Some sparks here from the right side as he hits the wall off turn 2. Through turn 3, goes right to the yellow line. No problems, no fouls. And he'll walk it off the home plate. Joseph Madigan with stage win number 8 this season. Took him 36 laps to get from the back to the front. And after that, there was no looking back. Eddie Baker in second, Ramsdale third, Caleb Collins fourth, and Kevin Coleman there in 5th. We'll go ahead and go side by side here as drivers get ready for what hopefully is their final pit stop of the night.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing Easy Daybot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, Easy Daybot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an Easy Day download now at easydaybot.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, McConey.
We now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at McConeySetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome to the Tier 1 Racing League, where precision, competition, and innovation come together to create the ultimate iRacing experience. Every race, every battle, and every moment in T1TS, T1L, T1X, and special events is brought to you by Tier 1 Studios, the premier destination for professional high-quality broadcasts. Tune in and experience racing like never before. Explore everything we have to offer at Tier1RacingLeague.com. From race schedules and standings to event galleries and league signups, it's all there at your fingertips. Join the competition, watch the action, be part of the legacy. Tier 1 Racing League, where champions are made.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Race. We're here the second round, or the second race in the round of 8. Joseph Madigan, stage 2 winner there. Eddie Baker, stage 1 winner, in line behind him. And Dakota Rams are trying to spoil the party there on the outside. Getting ready to kick off stage number 3 with a bang. And we'll start with a 55-mile-an-hour slow roll down the back stretch. All 14 trucks still in contention, all still on the lead lap here tonight. Might be the first time all season that all trucks that took the green make it to the checkered flag. We'll have to wait and find out, but Joseph Madigan underway, pulling away from Ramsdell and Eddie Baker. Side by side for second as Madigan pulls away. Collins four-wheel drifting on the apron. He keeps it going straight. He restarted in the top 5. Take a look and see what happened here. Just cold tires looked like. Just cut down the track a little too early. The right rear did not like that. Kept it going straight though. Still easily in contention and worked it back up front. But got to overcome a 5-second deficit now. Collins enters tonight below the picture as Christopher Cash not cashing in on that new right front fender. Heavy hit there to the outside wall. Kept it going straight. And Madigan leading the way, leads the field now. Is adding more laps led to that lap led total. Mentioned over 440 laps led coming into the night. Now at about 470 plus. Might end the night at 500 laps led. So, a couple guys all scraping the wall there pretty good. We should wait until after stage 2 to do it. So Eddie Baker trying to place spoiler here tonight to win. Currently sits above the playoff bubble. That'll be a huge showing from the driver at 84. Doesn't even have to win. If he just finished second tonight, win stage one, got second in stage 2, finished the second here tonight in the race. That's definitely put him in a great spot going into North Wilkesboro next week. North Wilkesboro, not a track you want to be on or below the bubble. As a caution flag is out. Greg Wood, Christopher Cash, and a couple others all involved here tonight. Christopher Cash stopped up by the wall. That's Greg Wood involved in his second incident of the night. Let's go back and see what happened here. It's the battle for the 6th position. Christopher Cash there kind of comes down the track a little bit. Jared Hayes slams in the back of us, slowing down Greg Wood, and that's about all that they needed to wreck. So I don't know if Christopher Cash there in that 6'9" thought he had some more room. Yeah, Wood slaps the left rear, sends him around a little bit, and Jared Hayes is nowhere to go, wrong place, wrong time. And Zachary Wood though in the 6th. Zachary Wood sliding right on by. So interesting predicament. We did about 5-6 lap green flag run. All the drivers do have 1 set tires remaining in the pit. We'll see if anyone comes down to throw them on. Looking for a bit of a green flag run here on board from Greg Wood. Yeah, he had it cleared for the most part. It was that hit from Hayes that sent him around. So half the field coming down pit lane. Greg Wood, Zachary Woods, Caleb Collins, Christopher Cash, Magoon, Hayes. All 5-6 second stops. So no tires, I believe. It's all fuel for these guys. So once again, tomorrow night, the T8 Designs Tier 1 ARCA Series gets underway from their very first race from Lakeland International Speedway down there in Lakeland, Florida. Now defunct 1 mile racetrack. Maybe half mile? It's something like that. Maybe 3/4. I want to say it's 3/4 mile, but the T8 Designs ARCA Series gets underway though for the first race of the season at that beautiful facility. 10 race schedule. Get signed up over today at tier1racing.com. So I know they got a handful of drivers signed up for that race, for that season. It's gonna be a fun race, fun season, fun event tomorrow night. USA International 100 laps under the lights too. A great schedule though. They got USA, Las Vegas, Michigan, Kansas, Watkins, North Wilkesboro, Nashville, Daytona, Bristol, and Texas with the All-Star event at Bristol Dirt there on June 17th. So 10 races, no playoffs, $20 entry fee. Pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy, and that's what Justin Madigan though is trying to do, is win this race easy peasy lemon squeezy. He had to work for it for the first 36 laps. He's been on cruise control pretty much ever since. Through the restart zone, Eddie Baker over the back bumper. Look at the number 30, Paul Owens enters the top 5 once again tonight after an earlier incident to running inside the top 3. Madigan pulling away. And side by side, big contact back with Jared Hayes and Greg Wood. They all keep it going straight for now. But it's Greg Wood who falls to second behind the pack already. Not what the rap surgeon wanted. Not what the doctor ordered. Oh, big contact back there for the 5th position, I believe. Maybe the 4th position between Kevin Coleman and Paul Owens. Kevin Coleman getting a bit of bumper love from Paul Owens in the 30 truck. First time these two have gone at it here tonight. Zachary Woods also in the picture as well, trying to get to the top 5. Oh, Coleman able to hang on to that 4th spot for now. Paul Owens, though, who really wants it, he wants it bad. Last time by, Jared Magoon, quickest truck on the track. Magoon might have taken tires there last time. Had a 14-second pit stop. Might have taken a couple tires in that 17 machine. Trying to change the tide. So far it's working out as he now moves around Zachary Woods for 6. Up 5 spots here tonight. Single file back out front though. This one gets dangerous when the field gets spread out. No caution in the foreseeable future, and Joseph Madigan's there later. At this point, you kind of follow what he's doing and hope, pray that he makes a mistake. That's what Eddie Baker's hoping for. Internet issue, hardware issue, your cat walks on your keyboard, something. Because if it wasn't for Joseph Madigan, Eddie Baker would be having a career night. Still having a career night so far, but a win would definitely make it feel a little better. See that side by side battle through dog leg. Paul Owens, Magoon entering that top 5 on those fresh tires. Last time by, second quickest truck on track. We're gonna see how long those new tires are able to last. Everyone else about the 5-lap disadvantage compared to Jared there. It's not a huge disadvantage, but enough to make a difference here in the short run. Eddie Baker in second. And it's Dakota Ramsdale rounding out your podium. Your top 3 have all led laps tonight. Top 3 have all looked very competitive. So field spread out. Here is how they run. Joseph Madigan looking to reach 500 career laps led this season and is on pace to do so. Your leader and stage number 2 winner. Behind him, it's your stage number 1 winner, Eddie Baker, having a career day, career night, trying to win himself a route to the championship for Homestead, currently settling for second. Driver in third is tonight's pole setter, It's Dakota Ramsdell in the 83. A lot of laps led for that big Tex machine. Side by side though for fourth, they're trying to sort it out. Who wants to be who? It's Kevin Coleman in the 00. He may or may not have crabs. He's got Old Bay though. That is for sure. It's the 17 of Jared Magoon behind him in fifth on those new tires. A 30 of Paul Owens, currently trying to kind of cruise into the top 5 if he can. Currently rides in 6th. Zachary Woods looking for a win. Number 6 Toyota Tundra rides in 7th here as they run. Caleb Collins started 4th here tonight. Had a bit of an issue on the restart, shouting back a little bit, but working his way back up through the field. Currently runs 8th. That 17 machine. Jeff Nairn from Sims, North Carolina, and the 19 machine right behind him. Side by side through the dog leg behind him is Matthew Erickson in that black 28. Might not be black for you, who knows? But to the inside is a 69 Christopher Cash. Chevrolet Silverado, currently side by side with Matthew Erickson. Behind them, it's a Rap Searching driver. He started 2nd tonight. Currently down 10 spots. Not going his way. It's not what the doctor ordered. Currently running 12th. Trying to fend off a hard charging Jared Hayes. And it's Bill Sleep rounding out your 14 truck field. All these drivers still on the lead lap. All drivers still in contention to win it. But it's been these 3 nights so far. Side by side, going into turn number 3, bit of contact. Magoon, he'll kind of lean on Kevin Coleman. Coleman will cut back down the track. Through the dog leg he goes. Side by side into turn 1 and 2. Don't expect this to get nice. And it's not more contact. They're both going to go for a slide. They're both going to save it. They'll open the door for Paul Owens. And here comes the 30 truck looking inside of Kevin Coleman. One driver down pit lane. It's a big Tex machine of Dakota Ramsdell. Not sure if that was the scheduled pit stop for your 3rd place driver, but Paul Owens trying to elbow his way now into 3rd around Kevin Coleman. He'll get the spot across the line. He won't have the spot through 1 and 2 for now though. Coleman falls back to 4th. He's going to pull the crossover move. Owens will go down low to block. Coleman will kind of force his way down there. A little bit more contact coming off the corner going into turn 3 here. 6 trucks all under a blanket. It's Coleman with that advantage off of turn number 3. But it'll be Paul Owens neck and neck with him across the line. So Ramsdell might be making his last stop of the race, thinking it's going to go green. I think Greg Wood said he's coming down this time. So it might be money time, money stop time for some of these guys. See who ends up where. So Ramsdell might be thinking he's going to go green from here on out. Last time by. He goes across the line. Oh, I have to actually wait for that. So it's going to pick up time here just by being quicker on pace, and if it goes green, everyone doesn't have enough fuel to make it, which I don't believe they do, and he'll kind of come ahead, but it depends, how late do these guys pit here. Do they think it's going to go green? Are they going to wait for a caution? Who pits with Ramsdell? He's already lost a lap. Although him pulling away from this battle has allowed Justin Madigan and Eddie Baker to be the only truck within a 5-second gap. Paul Owens back in 3rd as the next car behind these two. He's pulled away from that battle with Kevin Coleman and Jared Magoon. That got a little rough there. Some feathers were ruffled. As Eddie Baker, though, may be trying to ruffle some feathers of Joseph Madigan. Like Greg Wood mentioned, he was coming to pit road. Comes down this time here. The last time by, Ramsdell was about a half-second quicker than their leader. Took him a while to get up to speed, though. That's a little concerning for Dakota Ramsdell. So that time by 0.8 of a second quicker for Ramsdale. We'll have to see which all cycles through once everybody pits here, if they do under green. Eddie Baker doing a really nice job though at staying in touch of Madigan. Mentioned these two have pulled away from the rest of the field. Absolutely no one else has anything really for him. Looking back at this battle for fourth, I don't think this battle is quite over yet. Magoon now back on the back bumper of Coleman. We saw how this ended up last time. Ended up with Paul Owens getting by the both of them, pulling away. Zachary Wood trying to be the benefactor this time around. So maybe an issue for Greg Wood. We'll have to see on cold tires. He's back in pit lane. Yeah. So self spins there. I'm thinking Greg Wood is about to call it quits. And there he goes, take it to the garage. To the first DNF. It's going to be Greg Wood. So upset with himself, not the race going that he was wanting to run there, and understandably so. Qualified on the front row, great qualifying effort from him, and a lot of incidents, nothing I don't think he could have already done wrong. Wrong place, wrong time a couple times, and early DNF, and he'll have to go into North Wilkesboro with a win to be in mentality. Still though, Justin Madigan and Eddie Baker with a zip code of their own, pretty much. 5 seconds, now 5.5 seconds to the next car out back. Now there's the back bumper of Eddie Baker. Next car, Paul Owens, literally a straightaway back. Ramsdale still turning some fairly quick laps. Let's see though if these guys do end up coming down and pitting. 21 laps to go when they cross the line this time. Looking back at this battle, Kevin Coleman starting to fade a little bit. One driver down pit lane. It's Paul Owens from inside the top 5. So I expect green flag pit stops from the rest of the field. They're probably starting to push their fuel window a little bit. Magoon and Collins both pitted there on that last caution at lap 70. They might just barely be good enough. We'll have to wait and see. Magoon will fall into third and Caleb Collins there in fourth. Collins did come down and actually pit coming to the one to go. So he might be trying to save just enough fuel to make it to the end. A couple more guys down pit lane. Kevin Coleman, Christopher Cash, and Matt Erickson. And Eddie Baker, your second place driver, trying to pull the undercut on your leader, Justin Madigan. See if this brings anyone else down, primarily looking at Justin Madigan. He had 5 seconds to the rest of the field, so I don't think anyone who undercutted them will really have a shot and make up too much time here. But he might be able to make up enough time to get around Madigan. See, Madigan's going to stay out. If he's going to pit, he's running quite a wide entry. He'll stay out another lap. He's putting the nails in his own coffin here. We'll have to see if this strategy will work for Madigan. Next car behind him, it's going to be 8 seconds. From first to second, Jared Hayes on in. There's Matthew Erickson coming out of pit lane now. Another lap, he stays out. Magoon in second, Collins in third. So there's two yellow trucks here fighting for second and third. They should be able to stay out a little bit later than Madigan. About an extra 5 or 6 laps if I had to guess. Kevin Coleman, see him there trying to work his way back into the top 10. As Matthew Erickson, that black truck gets lapped once again. So Eddie Baker has got around Dakota Ramsdell. Mentioned Ramsdell was the first of these drivers to pit. That strategy didn't quite work out for him. I think Ramsdell had a slide. He lost about 6 seconds throughout his pit cycle that he shouldn't have lost. I think he had a slide on cold tires, or something happened that it shouldn't have. And that's what costed him a lot of time. So here's Matthew Erickson trying to unlap himself on some fresh tires. Madigan staying out here big time. Have to see how this plays out on these 5 drivers on the lead lap. Magoon, Collins, Woods, Sleep, and then of course Joseph Madigan. Of those 5 drivers that are staying out here, 4 of them all pitted on the last caution, and only 5 drivers even pitted at the last caution. So Christopher Cash, I believe, was the one guy to pit at the last caution and also pit. So everyone else is staying out for the most part. We'll have to see if they have enough. I think Erickson can get around him if he wanted to, but you don't want to push this. You don't want to pull Kyle Larson and change the outcome of the race when they're 2 laps down. There goes Erickson to the inside. Madigan still staying out another lap. We'll have to see how this strategy plays out. He might think it's good enough. If he is, he's going to be literally spitting fumes. Maybe spitting into that gas tank, trying to throw whatever fluids he can in there. Everyone else that pitted on that lap 60 caution, that was the stage, has all come down pit lane. The only other drivers to stay out are drivers that all pitted about 8 laps after them did for the lap 69 caution. I'm on the edge of my seat here, just trying to figure out what Madigan is trying to do. He's still got a lap on Eddie Baker, who is the first car that has pitted. It's a 35-second deficit, so you'll lose about 45 seconds pitting, give or take, maybe a little bit more here because it's a longer pit road. So, like I said, Madigan right now would come out behind Kevin Coleman. So he'd be running the 56th spot if he did pit now and merged out. So I think he kind of made his bed for sure for staying out. Looking below the yellow line. No, just as I said, he's going to try and prove me wrong. A very late pit stop for Madigan. Will it be enough? He'll have some fresh tires. And there's a man looking to benefit from all this. It's going to be Eddie Baker, who will unlap himself and move into that 5th spot. And it's Caleb Collins getting the lead over Jared Magoon and company. So a lot of guys are going to start unlapping themselves here. The gap now between these two, if they're good. Remember, they pitted about 8 laps after Madigan did. Madigan was about 10 laps dry there. 2 tires, 2 for Madigan. So he's not going to lose quite that much time. But try and come out in front of Eddie Baker. Will it be enough? Baker will have the momentum. Madigan will have the fresh tires. And side by side, for the lead of the guys that have pitted, it will be Eddie Baker going in front of Joseph Madigan. The 2-tire call, I did not expect it. Saved him 5 seconds. And here comes Jared Magoon down pit lane. So that leaves Caleb Collins, Bill Sleep, and Zachary Woods as their 3 drivers to stay out here. Remember, Caleb Collins pitted coming to the 1 to go. That might be enough. What a win it would be for the driver of the 72. He's had a rough go-around all night long. Came in the night below the cutoff, so we'll have to see. Is it enough? Also, that's a fresher lap time or fresher tires, so your quicker lap time. So Madigan and Baker about a second and a half quicker than Collins. They're currently about 18 seconds back, so it might be tight as far as catching Collins as he continues to slow down. Bill Sleep in this time. So that's going to leave Caleb Collins and Zachary Woods. Zachary Woods, also a driver who's on the outside looking in. Came in tonight your lowest ranked playoff driver, 20 below the cut line after last week's eventful race. A win would lock him in as long as he shows up next week from North Wilkesboro. 6 laps to go. Eddie Baker moves in the third now. 15 seconds, 1.2 seconds quicker than Zachary Woods. He might catch Zachary Woods for second at least. See if we can go on board with Caleb Collins. See if he's just shutting the ignition off, right in the clutch. See what he's doing. Very easy on the throttle. Very easy on the throttle. Shutting it off, going into turn 3. He's in full save mode on fuel. See if he shuts off going into turn 1 here. He is a big, long coast in the corner. That's killing his lap times. Zachary Woods, though, see if Zachary Woods is doing the same. There goes Christopher Cash around. Not for a spot. So Zachary Woods not shutting the car off. Maybe clutching a little bit. So 3 laps to go for Caleb Collins. Does he have enough in the tank? Will he get the Cinderella story out of the desert? We'll have to watch and find out. Madigan gets to run Eddie Baker for third. And if these teams find them run out, that'll be for the lead and for the win. Zachary Woods now gaining on Caleb Collins. Less than 2.5 seconds. As the gap as the yellow flag comes out. Who's done it? Who's ruined the strategy? It's Kevin Coleman in the 0-0. No! The displeasure from Caleb Collins on the radio. Jared Hayes taking the blame. With 2 laps to go, Caleb Collins is looking to ride his way on a chariot to Homestead as a Championship 4 finalist until that incident right there. Here's what's interesting now. Can Caleb Collins throw tires on? Does he have tires? Did he have enough? Well, the world will never know. But does he have tires? We're about to find out. See the jack goes up on that 72 machine. And they do new tires on the 72. This might be huge here. Zachary Woods also getting jacked up. That's a tough one. So 4 tires for Collins, 2 tires for Zachary. Bill Sleep also going up on some new right side. So fuel for the 83 of Ramsdale. Caleb Collins is going to be restarting high up in the running order as well, as most of these guys are still a lap down, and a couple guys also pitted there. So Caleb Collins might have won on fuel mileage. Now have a shot to win it off strategy. Another strategy, not fuel mileage, but a tire strategy. It will be Zachary Woods in 6th and 5th currently. Both the drivers on new right sides, 72 on new left sides as well. Choosing here, the most important choose for some of these drivers' playoff hopes. So that Zachary Woods or Caleb Collins, no one gone on the outside. See, the outside's still empty. It was just Paul Owens out there. Look at how dominant Jeff Nairn goes from 8th to 4th. I think these guys just really prefer the inside. Pace car pulls in. It'll be a green-white checkered shootout here. So we have two in the bank. First one getting withdrawn. Cash moves up to the outside as well as Jared Magoon. It's Joseph Madigan on some fresh-ish tires, leading the way, leading the field through the restart zone. It's underway. Paul Owens side by side as they cross the line. They make contact. They touch doors. They open the door for Eddie Baker to slide on the inside. He'll try and stick his nose down there. 3 wide for the lead. Paul Owens oversteps it. He puts himself in the wall. Still in the wall. Still trying to save it. Side by side for the lead. Eddie Baker's loose. Magoon spins out in the background. Eddie Baker to the inside for the race lead. Come to the white flag here. 1 to go from Phoenix. It's Joseph Madigan getting the white flag over Eddie Baker. Baker trying to find a last-ditch effort somewhere. Trying to throw a fastball. Hoping for a curve. But Madigan continues to pull away through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. Joseph Madigan, picture perfect all race long as they wreck behind him Zachary Woods and Caleb Collins all around. And it's Madigan riding off to the sunset. He'll lock himself into the championship 4. And welcome to Homestead, Joseph Madigan. The driver from Eden Prairie, Minnesota gets it done tonight. Jeff Nairn second. Eddie Baker third. Paul Owens fourth. And Christopher Cash top 5 run for him. So a lot to break down. Cars still stopped everywhere. One driver about to get plowed into there. Looking at Zachary Woods here. So 72 gets loose. Caleb Collins on his fresh tires. Just gets loose and hard on the outside wall. That would definitely hurt both their odds going into North Wilkesboro big time. So Dustin Madigan burning it down. We'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, catch award of your winner, your podium.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing Easy Daybot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, Easy Daybot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an Easy Day download now at easydaybot.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Makoni.
We now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at McConeySetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome to the Tier 1 Racing League, where precision, competition, and innovation come together to create the ultimate iRacing experience. Every race, every battle, and every moment in T1TS, T1L, T1X, and special events is brought to you by Tier 1 Studios, the premier destination for professional high-quality broadcasts. Tune in and experience racing like never before. Explore everything we have to offer at Tier1RacingLeague.com. From race schedules and standings to event galleries and league signups, it's all there at your fingertips. Join the competition, watch the action, be part of the legacy. Tier 1 Racing League, where champions are made.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the second race of the round 8 here for the Tier 1 Truck Series presented by my Concept Shop Playoffs. I'm your host with the most, Brayton Lasser, Connell here tonight. Brett Bold working the controls as our producer, but Joseph Madigan working the controls as a wheelman, getting the job done here tonight from Phoenix. As Jeff Nairn in second, Eddie Baker running out your podium after a hard-fought battle all night with Madigan. Paul Owens in fourth, Christopher Cash cashes in on a wild late race restart to finish fifth, and Dakota Ramsdell rebounds after something happened at some point during his green flag pit stop that cost him a ton of time. Not the finish he wanted, but still a great top 10 run here for the driver in 83. Matthew Erickson in 7th, Jared Hayes in 8th, Jared Magoon in 9th, Zachary Woods and Cabe Collins finished 10th and 11th after a last lap incident. Bill Sleep in 12th, and Kevin Coleman rounding out your drivers to finish the race in 13th, and Greg Wood, your only DNF here tonight, in 14th. See if we can catch a quick word with your race winner, Joseph Madigan. Joseph Madigan getting his 6th win of the season, his 8th stage win en route to it. Joseph, you were on the outside looking in there. Caution comes out with 2 to go, and you find yourself low in victory lane here tonight. Tell us how you got it done.
Not quite sure. Caution really helped me out there at the end. Just tried staying out as long as I could, and then taking 2 and just taking the minimum amount of fuel. Looked like it was gonna work for Eddie, and then I realized that wasn't for the lead. I'm not sure. I can't even remember who it was that was out there. I think it might have been Woods. That was up there up front, and he must have pitted with that, caution around like 70 something. So, yeah, the caution helped us. Probably backed into that one, but got it done on the restart, and talking to you.
So yeah, we've kind of gotten used to talking to you a little bit. You've been the man to beat all season long. You finally got a win to lock yourself into that finale at Homestead in a couple of weeks. You have North Wilkesboro next week. You can just kind of show up and kind of go for a Sunday cruise. You can try and find victory lane if you want. But going into Homestead, like I mentioned, you have been the most dominant driver pretty much all season. I think you're at well over 500 laps led now. The next closest in the playoffs is nowhere even near triple digits. So it's definitely been the dominant driver, not only in the playoffs, but this season. But going into Homestead, how are you feeling?
We'll see. I'm not sure how the trucks drive there. I feel good about the track, feel good about the truck, but anything can happen. And if I'm not mistaken, it's highest finisher wins of the playoffs. So you never know what kind of wacky strategy somebody can pull, and you never know when the caution can fly. So nothing's guaranteed.
Okay, we've seen that last couple races for sure. Anybody want to take a moment to thank and route to tonight to win?
Just the sponsors, Mountain Dew Kickstart, Napa Auto Parts, Ford, and everyone at Madigan Motorsports.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Joseph. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again sometime in the next couple of weeks.
All right, thank you.
That's Joseph Madigan tonight's winner. We'll catch up, though, with second place, Jeff Nairn. Jeff, it's our first time talking to you since you got that win back in week number 1 at Daytona. Congratulations on a second place run here tonight. It was a very hectic restart. It was a very hectic race, and you found yourself there fighting for a podium in the final couple of laps. Tell us how you got that second place finish here tonight.
Well, it worked out to my favor. It seemed like on the choose, most everyone took the inside and left the door wide open for me on the outside. So I just got a good starting spot and just played it safe there those last couple laps.
I say playing it safe was the name of the game here tonight. We saw a lot of weird incidents that took a couple trucks out of contention there in the last couple laps, and you found yourself sitting here in second. It came in the night on the cut line through stage points. I think you'll actually be below it exiting the night going into North Wilkesboro. There's only one spot taken for, and that's Joseph Madigan after his win tonight. You got 3 spots open for the taking at North Wilkesboro. How are you feeling about your chances of making it at Homestead?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a battle. Everybody fighting for those last 3 spots. If it's a relatively clean race like it was tonight, I think it'll be a lot of fun. But short track, you know how that can go. Tempers might get the best of us.
Definitely going to be a all-out battle all the way to the checkered flag indeed. kind of like tonight. Survival of the fittest, it seemed. And, well, you found yourself the fittest of everyone who didn't win. So, and we want to thank and right to your second place finish here tonight.
Like I did week one, I appreciate all you guys, doing this, you putting up with us in the broadcast, Brett, looking after us from the booth as well. Every one of you guys that puts this on, you make it fun. I really appreciate what you do.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you. That was Jeff Nairn finishing second here tonight. First podium since week number 1 for him. And the driver we're going to catch an award with now, the driver who had one of his best nights of his career, Eddie Baker, finishes third here tonight. Eddie, it's your third podium this season. Your first actually ever third place finish and your first podium low since the playoffs began. You got a stage win. That's also pretty exciting. Tell us a little bit about your night.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm a little discouraged and a little upset and just defeated. I don't know what it's going to take to beat this Madigan guy. I mean, he is 2 to 3 tenths faster every track. He's got the skill. I mean, I got a lot of respect for him. He races pretty clean and aggressive, but my God, I just don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here.
I say you were pretty much a man to beat outside of Madigan. You were always able to stay with him. You're always able to get this back bumper. You're able to get side by side, but it proved difficult to pass here tonight. Next, we go to North Wilkesboro, a bit of a shorter style racetrack. Look back at Lucasville Raceway Park. You got the pole. You led a lot of laps at a career day back at IRP. You're looking for another career day at North Wilkesboro. I think you might be pretty close to that cut line, if not above it, after your stage 1 win and that second place in stage 2. What do you think it's going to take to get the job done next week?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm hoping for another podium. I mean, obviously the goal is to try to win and lock in. I know Homestead is probably my best track on the surface here. So I mean, I'm confident going into that, but like I said, I just don't know what it's going to take to beat the 76. I mean, he started dead last. I knew he was going to work through the field. I knew he was going to be the guy that was coming through everybody to race against, and I could have sworn I had the right strategy, and I thought that we were going to race it out and eventually be, first and second. And with that caution, I thought there was going to be a good amount of racing between the two of us, and I don't know. I guess I could have sent it a little deeper with 2 to go there or something, but I don't know. I just got to figure out a way to win next week and get as much points as I possibly can while doing it. And I don't know. I'm sweating like crazy right now. I had to take my sweatshirt off. I definitely put in the effort on that last 30 laps there. Pretty much just drove what I had to do with the rest of the race, but that last 30 laps, my wrists hurt and I am so wetting.
Well, anybody want to take a moment to thank and route to your sweaty third place finish here tonight?
Yeah, just want to thank Sullivan Tire for being on the truck tonight. Full support from them. I know a lot of the people from work watch this, and even the owner. We have 84 stores, sorry, and I know the owner was pretty cool and excited about seeing the paint schemes all the time. So, thanks to them. Thanks to Trufant Industries for being on the truck and WFO Racing, and hopefully Team WFO gets a little bit more luck in the near future here, because it's not for lack of trying, but something's up.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully this momentum carries you in North Wilkesboro, and we see you fighting for a championship at Homestead.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. That was Eddie Baker getting the job done here tonight to finish on the podium. Got that stage win and a lot of stage points in stage number 2. Set himself to be in a great spot going into North Wilkesboro. Well, that's going to be a wrap for tonight. Next week, we go to North Wilkesboro, like I've been mentioning all night long. 8:45 p.m. broadcast start. Tomorrow night, though, the Tier 1 Racing TH designed ARCA Series hits the Track USA International for the first time this season. First time the Tier 1 Racing will be using the brand new ARCA car on iRacing. So that's going to be a fun race, fun season indeed. Catch all the action there, I believe, on Tier 1 Studios. So 8:45 p.m. start for that. Hope to see everyone there. Until next time, though, catch the Tier 1 Truck Series back in action once again at North Wilkesboro, 8:45 p.m. next Monday night, with Homestead being the 21st. My name has been Brayton Asher, calling all the action tonight. Brett Broad working the controls as our producer. Thank you to all of the Tier 1 racing staff and drivers for putting on a great show and providing a great service here in the Tier 1 Racing League. And of course, thank you to all of our fans and viewers at home for watching. It's been good. It's been great. Until next time.